What if your child isn't becoming more anxious, more clingy, or more difficult, but is actually becoming really, really good at adapting to something you do every single day without realizing it? Not something a bad parent does, something a present parent does, a caring parent. A parent who shows up, who tries, who loves hard, and still misses it because it hides inside the moments that look the most normal. We're talking about habits that look like protection, like encouragement, like teaching, like love. Habits so woven into your daily routine that you'd never think to question them. But underneath, quietly, in the way your child's brain is wiring itself right now, some of those habits may be shaping how they see themselves, how much they trust themselves, and how safe they feel bringing their real feelings to you. There are 5 of them. And the one that hits the hardest isn't the most obvious one. It's number 5. Because number 5 looks like being responsive. It looks like being there when your child needs you. It looks like showing up. And it can still, without you ever meaning it, teach your child that struggle is what earns your full presence. And calm is when you disappear. The first habit is one of the most automatic things a loving parent does, and it starts the moment your child hits a wall. A friendship went sideways, a task is overwhelming them, and before they've barely finished telling you, you're already solving it. Not because you don't trust them, but because watching your child struggle genuinely feels uncomfortable in your body. That discomfort is not weakness. That's love. When you are deeply bonded to a child, their distress becomes your distress, and your instinct is to end their distress as quickly as possible. But here's the part most parents miss. Your child's brain isn't just experiencing the problem being solved, it's learning who solved it. Every single time the answer comes from you, before they've had a real chance to sit with the difficulty, their brain quietly files away, "I couldn't have handled that on my own." Not in words, not consciously, but in the slow, steady way that repeated experience becomes belief. Over time, that child can start to feel genuinely less capable than they are. Their confidence doesn't grow from what they've survived. It shrinks from what they've never been left to try. So the next time your child hits a wall, try this. "That sounds really frustrating. What do you think you could do?" And then go quiet. Longer than feels natural. That space is not absence. It's the room they need to discover they are more capable than either of you realized. Sometimes parents don't fix the problem at all. They let their child feel it. But then they do something else, something that sounds supportive, and it quietly teaches the child that what they're feeling isn't okay. That's the next one. The second habit sounds like comfort. It usually sounds like, "Don't be sad, you're fine, stop crying, that's not a big deal, calm down." Parents say these things because they want their child to feel okay again as fast as possible. But here's the part most parents miss. Your child is not hearing what you think they're hearing. When you say you're fine, they don't hear you're safe. What they often hear, underneath all of it, is something quieter and more lasting. "What I'm feeling right now is wrong." Not the behavior, the feeling itself. And a child who learns that their emotions make the adults around them uncomfortable doesn't become less emotional. They become less visible. They don't stop feeling, they stop showing it. Over time, that child may look calm on the outside while carrying something heavier on the inside because they figured out early that their emotional world wasn't safe to bring to you. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because none of this means letting your child behave however they want. You can hold the boundary firmly while still making the feeling feel okay. That's the part most correction skips. So instead of correcting the emotion, try naming it. It makes sense you're upset. That felt really disappointing, didn't it? No lecture, no fix, just recognition. And what simply naming the feeling does for a child's nervous system is tell them they are not alone, which is the one thing they need to calm down. Now, the next habit is the one that trips up even the most intentional parents because it sounds like celebration, but it may be quietly teaching your child to be more afraid of failure, not less. The third habit feels like the furthest thing from harmful. It usually sounds like, "You're so smart, you're the best, I knew you could do it." Parents say these things because they want their child to feel capable and confident. But what a child does with praise depends almost entirely on what it's attached to. When it's attached mainly to the result, the grade, the win, the performance, the child's brain quietly starts building an equation. Success starts to feel like worth, which means, on the other side, failure feels like something very different. You see it later. When your child refuses to try something they might not be good at, hides a bad grade instead of bringing it to you, only volunteers for things they already know they can win. That's not laziness. That's a child who has learned that their value lives in the outcome, and when the outcome is uncertain, the risk feels too personal to take. Praising only the result skips the entire story of how the child got there. The moment they wanted to quit and didn't, the frustration they pushed through, the courage it took to start over. Those are the moments that build a child who can handle real life. So instead of leading with the outcome, try. "I noticed how hard you worked on that, even when it got frustrating." That's what I'm proud of. When you name the effort, you teach your child that their value doesn't live in whether they won, it lives in how they showed up. And a child who begins to believe that is more likely to try harder things, bounce back faster, and come to you with their failures instead of hiding them. The next habit is one that barely registers, because it's said so automatically that most parents don't even hear themselves saying it anymore, but their child does. Every single time. The fourth habit leaves your mouth before you've even finished the thought. Your child moves toward the playground, something unfamiliar, a small risk, and before they've taken a single step, it's already out. Be careful. You say it because you love them. Maybe you've had the ER visits, or maybe you've imagined them enough times. You know the world has edges. But here's the part most parents miss. Your child is not just hearing a safety reminder. They're receiving a signal. And when that signal comes before they've even assessed the situation themselves, what they're actually receiving is, something is wrong here, and you are not equipped to figure out what. Over enough repetitions, that signal starts to arrive before the experience even begins. The child conditioned to hear, "Be careful before attempting anything new," can grow into a child who feels a flash of fear before curiosity, who checks your face before they trust their own body, who stopped believing their instincts were reliable. The goal is never to raise a reckless child. The goal is to raise a child who knows how to read a situation, not just fear it. So instead of "be careful," try. How are you going to do that? Let them think it through. Let them notice the risk. Or if something genuinely concerns you, trust your body. Go slow if you need to. That's slowly building the judgment inside the child, instead of making them depend only on your fear signal. The first 4 habits on this list all happen when you're actively trying to help. But number 5 is different. It's about what happens in the ordinary, quiet moments, and what your child may be learning from how you show up, or don't, in those moments. The 5th habit is the one most parents never see coming, because it feels like life. Your child is calm, playing independently, doing fine, and you take that moment to breathe, answer an email, handle the things that don't stop. That is not neglect. That is a parent surviving their day. But then something goes wrong. Your child falls apart, melts down, acts out, and you stop everything. You put the phone down, get on their level, give them your full presence. That is a loving response. The problem is not any single moment. The problem is the pattern. If what your child consistently observes is that calm gets a half-present parent and distress gets a fully present one, their nervous system quietly connects those dots, not through manipulation. Through the same basic process that teaches them everything else, this works, that doesn't. It shows up as the child who is always on the edge of a meltdown, dramatic over small things, somehow never regulated. And the parent wonders what's wrong. But the question worth sitting with is, What has my child learned about what gets my full presence? Most children are not consciously doing that, but their nervous system found the pattern that reliably works, and it held on to it. The fix is not complicated. It's called connection in the calm. Sitting next to your child when nothing is wrong, noticing them when they're quiet, not only when they're loud. 2 minutes of full presence before anything has gone sideways. What your child needs is to learn that their calm self is just as worthy of your presence as their struggling self, that they don't have to fall apart to be fully seen. Even small, consistent moments in the quiet times can begin to shift the pattern. And when that happens, some of the behavior that looked like a problem may start to soften because the need underneath it is finally being met before it has to become a crisis. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Not guilt, not a list of ways you've been getting it wrong, but something more useful, a new way of seeing. Every single habit in this video came from love. Fixing too fast came from not wanting your child to suffer. Correcting the feeling came from wanting them to feel okay. Praising the result came from wanting them to believe in themselves. Saying "be careful" came from knowing the world has real edges. And showing up most fully when things go wrong came from being a parent who tries to be there when your child needs you. None of that is bad parenting. All of it is human parenting. The fact that some of it lands differently than you intended doesn't make you the wrong parent for your child. It makes you a parent who now gets to do something most people never do: see the pattern before it finishes writing itself. Because that is the real work, not perfection, not getting every moment right. The real work is noticing, catching yourself mid-habit, pausing, choosing something slightly different. The repair after the moment you got it wrong. Those are small, almost invisible shifts, the same way the habits formed in the first place. And those shifts, repeated over time, build a child who trusts themselves, feels emotionally safe, and knows they are seen. Not just when they're struggling, but in the quiet moments too. Your child does not need a perfect parent. They need a parent who notices, who repairs, and who keeps choosing to look closer. And the fact that you watched this far already says everything about the kind of parent you're trying to be.